Hello and welcome to the PMC Q&A. This is where I answer your questions. I like to keep things casual, so don't mind if I go on a rant sometimes. But if you want your questions to be answered in our next PMC Q&A video, then all that you need to do is drop your question in the comment of this video itself. Some people like to send email because they have screenshots and links and whatnot. To add context to their questions, you can do so by sending your questions at admin@pmclounge.com. All right, so without further ado, let me share the 5 questions that we are taking up today. Question number 1 is, why does PMP require 3 years of work experience? Now, I acknowledge your question and the possible frustration behind it. But I see two issues here, and this is for everyone who think that 3 years of work experience is not necessarily required. So the two issues here are, number one, you are perhaps not willing to wait for 3 years of work experience, and number two, you think that without the experience, if you could just get the certification, you might magically get ahead in your career. And both of these assumptions are absolutely wrong. Now, for issue number one, on not wanting to wait for 3 years, you need to understand that the PMP certification is not designed as a first job certification, right? It is not a first job certification. It is meant for professionals. It is called project management professional. So it is not for amateurs. It is for professionals who already have a few years of project experience, so that the concepts, the tools, the scenarios in the exam actually make sense in the context. You can technically fake experience by saying you managed, let's say, a lemonade stall or whatever, but that defeats the whole purpose. The idea is to have seen real projects, real project teams, and real pressure situations, not just tick a box that I have 3 years of experience, right? So without that foundation, PMP becomes an assembly line process, right? Where people just get the certificate by, doing whatever that's required, but they don't grow as project managers. Now, the second issue is about thinking that certification alone can get you ahead. Now, here's the truth. Certifications don't make you a good project manager by themselves. If all you do is pass the exam without real experience, you become this assembly line PMP that I spoke of earlier. Someone who can simply answer questions on the PMP exam but struggles to take ownership, struggles to deliver project outcomes, or even stay interested enough to pick up a project management book later and read it, right? And this is my number one gripe with people who keep solving questions, and all that they do is just practice questions and then be able to pass the exam and have no real world project management knowledge. I am looking at you, the fake trainers. They simply ask people to solve questions and that's it. Look, you can answer 2000 PMP questions correctly and still be a pathetic project manager if you have zero project management experience, if you have never read a project management book, right? Think of it this way. Think of stand-up comedy, right? You can learn the joke structures, you can learn the hooks, you can learn the timing, but if you have not observed real people, if you have not observed real situations, you will not be able to write your own stand up comedy material. Similarly, without project experience, you only learn how to answer PMP questions or some theory, right? But you never learn how to manage actual projects. So, my honest suggestion is, get experience before the certification. Work on projects, take ownership, make mistakes, and learn from those mistakes. Then prepare for PMP. That way, the certification is going to amplify what you already are, instead of just becoming a badge with no substance behind it. That's what I call assembly line PMPs. The combination of experience plus certification is what really moves your career. As I said, you can answer 2000 PMP questions correctly and still be a pathetic project manager still not be able to pass your project management job interview. Okay, question number 2, how to get your name listed in the PMBOK guide. So here's the thing, I have the latest PMBOK guide 8th edition right here. Here you can see it. And there are reviewers and contributors listed in this book from page 217 to 231. It's a long list, 15 pages full of names of reviewers and contributors. And in fact, if you go to page number 227, you will see my name on the guide as well. And I'll just see if it is possible. Yeah, there you go. So this is my name. And it is listed in the PMBOK Guide 8th edition. So the thing is, PMI is going to share with you a draft of the PMBOK guide before it is ready for publishing, right? And you basically are supposed to go over the draft and you can submit your comments about it. And that's pretty much it. Then PMI is going to contact you to confirm your name and your credentials. And that's what basically happened with me, right? And my name ended up there. So look out for the draft PMBOK guide on pmi.org the next time PMBOK guide comes out, which will be in about 4 years from now. All right. Question number 3, what is the future of project manager job role in the era of AI? So let me start by addressing the AI concern directly here. AI models, they have no emotions, they have no real understanding of real world projects, and they have no true learning in the human sense. AI models are these advanced pattern matching machines with great applications, but they are not human at the end of the day. So, any comparison between AI replacing human project managers is fundamentally flawed. But here's an interesting shift that I would like to talk about. There was a time when technical knowledge was respected much more than project management knowledge, right? So project managers were dismissed as, just generalists, coordinators who don't have any specialized technical expertise that your engineers or developers or testers do. But AI has actually changed that dynamic. AI can absolutely code, it can absolutely test. But here's what AI cannot do, it cannot be a generalist that project managers are. It cannot lead people. Think about real project scenario. Your team is, let's say, 2 weeks behind schedule. The developers are frustrated because requirements keep changing. The client is unhappy and might even be threatening to pull the funding. And then there's your sponsor who wants status update and doesn't understand the technical complexity, right? So what do you do as a project manager? Of course, you can use AI. AI can tell you schedule variance. If it has been trained on past projects, it can even suggest some recovery options. But AI cannot walk into a meeting room and read the room by looking at all these stakeholders. It cannot sense that your lead developer is burned out. It cannot negotiate with the client to reset expectations while keeping the trust in the project team intact. So here's the thing, right? All of these require empathy, judgment, relationship building, and the ability to navigate messy, real life project situations. These are the things that AI simply cannot replicate. So, if you ask me what is the future of the project manager role, I would say it's much more secure than people think. AI can handle technical and repetitive tasks, but project managers are going to become even more valuable for what makes them human. Talk about leadership, communication, conflict resolution, and bringing people together to deliver results. So I would say the project manager role is not disappearing, it's focusing on what we as project managers have always been best at, and that is managing people and making sense of real life project complexity. All right, next question. All the trainers focus on teaching some strange mindset, the PMP mindset, right? To pass the PMP. What the hell is the PMP mindset? The so-called PMP mindset. It has become this overused buzzword in the project management, specifically PMP training world. And honestly, it's creating more confusion than clarity, if you ask me. So let me break this down. PMP is not a test of any mindset, right? It is a test of global project management best practices. There I said it. PMP is not a test of some random mindset some person came up with. It is a test of global project management best practices. So the exam tests you whether you understand how projects are managed across different industries, across different geographies, and across different methodologies. Not whether you have adopted some mysterious way of thinking that people call the PMP mindset, right? The mindset obsession actually went into overdrive after this book came out, the PMBOK Guide 7th edition, right? This is the book. So this book had no structure. It did away with the process groups and the knowledge areas, the whole structure, right? And that's when a lot of people panicked. They thought that, if there's no structure, then it must be about the mindset. But that is absolutely not true. And PMI also realized this confusion. And they literally brought back the PMBOK 6 in the form of this book, Process Groups a Practice Guide, right? The process groups and knowledge area, they are not out of order. They are still very much relevant. In fact, PMI has included them in the PMBOK Guide 8th edition as well. So the real issue is that too many trainers focus on this abstract mindset concept instead of actually teaching you project management content. They are telling you to think like a project manager without teaching you what a project manager actually does, how to manage stakeholders, how to control scope, how to assess risks, or even schedule changes, right? How to handle them. So there's a lot to learn about all of this. So forget all this mindset BS. Instead, think from the broad perspective of global project management and different industries. So when you're answering a PMP question, you are not being asked what you would do based on your limited experience or based on some random mindset. You are being asked what the globally accepted best practice in project management really is. That's what you need to focus on, right? Understand how projects are managed according to PMI's framework, not inventing some random way of thinking called the PMP mindset. Okay, last question for today. If tomorrow is my PMP exam, what should I do? Just two words: enough sleep. Get enough sleep. PMP is a long exam, it's a 4-hour long exam. And if you are not well rested, you are going to get tired both physically as well as mentally. So, my advice always is the night before the exam, get enough sleep. By the way, if you're looking for more PMP exam day tips, check out the linked video in the description below. That's where I have shared final 10 tips that you need to be aware of if you are preparing for your PMP exam. So that's all in this Q&A. If you have any question for me, drop that question in the comments below and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.